We all know that the White Leghorn variety is the undisputed queen of commercial egg production worldwide. She is a true biological machine. She easily surpasses the incredible mark of 300 white eggs per year, with a feed consumption that is surprisingly low. But this champion has a hidden flaw that costs modern breeders a lot of money and valuable time: the dominant white gene. This specific genetic trait acts like a giant eraser that covers or blocks any other color in the feathers, making all chicks hatch looking identical and completely yellow. The direct economic result of this? You end up spending expensive starter rations, electricity for heat lamps, and valuable brooder space keeping unproductive males for far too many weeks, simply because it is impossible to visually sex them at hatch. Today we are going to permanently solve that major economic problem for your farm. We will reveal the ultimate cross, utilizing specific color genetics to achieve excellent direct visual sexing from their very first day of life, optimizing your entire daily farming operation with absolute precision and complete certainty. Let's begin. The false belief is that you depend exclusively on the White Leghorn to have a resounding level of success in your daily egg production, and that's a serious mistake for your overall business model. The core secret is to strategically play with the color varieties of this exact same breed. We're going to cross a Brown Leghorn rooster with Silver Leghorn breeding hens. By employing these exact intra-breed lines, we create a flock of hybrid layers that maintain that outstanding laying rate of purely white shells and the excellent feed conversion we all seek. The massive advantage is that, by removing that genetic eraser from the equation, you'll be able to sex the chicks with precision from their first minute out of the incubator. You'll never have to guess again. You won't wait an entire month blindly spending money on starter rations to identify who your future star layers will be. This specific cross immediately gives the seasoned producer absolute control over the flock dynamics and the overall budget right from day zero, establishing a solid foundation for your sustainability, consistent growth, and long-term financial independence without any unnecessary complications. For this genetic cross to work flawlessly in your commercial barns, we first need to thoroughly know the amazing birds we're pairing. Let's start with the father of our future highly productive flock, the Brown Leghorn rooster, also known by many farmers as the partridge variety. Just like his famous white cousin, this bird has a light build. An adult breeding rooster barely reaches a weight between 4 and 5.5 pounds at his maximum physical development. This bodily lightness is a tremendous financial advantage. It guarantees that his entire offspring won't waste expensive feed on fattening up or developing useless muscle mass throughout their lives. The pure hens of this same brown maternal line can easily lay up to 300 white eggs a year. They boast excellent commercial size and weight, reaching point of lay at just 18 weeks of age. Furthermore, their natural instinct to incubate is practically non-existent. That dreaded broodiness that halts the constant production of eggs in the nest box simply doesn't happen in this highly productive poultry variety, keeping your egg counts consistently high and perfectly predictable throughout the entire laying cycle. Crucially, the most critical factor about this brown rooster for the success of our cross is his internal genetic composition. He's the sole individual responsible for bringing the valuable gold gene into our biological mix. This gene has the enormous particularity of being closely linked to the sex chromosomes of the birds. You might be wondering right now, why not simply use a rooster from a heavy dual-purpose breed, like the popular Rhode Island Red or New Hampshire, which also carry this golden gene? The answer to that doubt is purely economic and related to operational efficiency for your growing business. When you use a male from a large and heavy breed, the chicks will inevitably inherit that voluminous bone structure. They'll eat almost double the daily formulated feed during their entire productive life, just to maintain their body size. On the contrary, using a Brown Leghorn male ensures that the chick will remain an ultralight bird. She'll be agile, with great foraging capacity and a remarkably low daily maintenance cost that guarantees constant profitability, firmly protecting your bottom line every single season without incurring unnecessary feed expenses or unexpected overhead costs. Now let's move on to analyze the maternal counterpart of our formula in detail. We're talking about the Silver Leghorn mother. This specific variety is the definitive technique of our entire plan, because its hens are the direct carriers of the much-desired silver gene. This gene acts as a clever switch to achieve perfect early sexing. Many traditional breeders often make the costly mistake of trying to introduce this precious silver gene by using crosses with large-sized breeds, such as the bulky Sussex hens or the robust Rhode Island White. What's the huge economic problem of doing this on the farm? By crossing light birds with overly heavy birds, they completely ruin the visual purity of the white eggshell. They obtain layers that produce cream or light brown tones that alienate the traditional customer base who expects pure white. Furthermore, they send daily formulated feed consumption skyrocketing. By exclusively using Silver Leghorn breeding hens for the maternal base, we keep breed integrity intact. We consistently obtain pristine white eggs and save vast amounts of hard-earned money in the daily rearing process, without ever compromising egg quality or structural shell density in any way whatsoever. So the big economic question that we all ask ourselves is, what exactly happens when we cross this lightweight brown rooster with the agile silver hens inside our breeding pens? This is where the biological magic of sex-linked genetics comes in. It manifests itself in a simple and easy-to-understand way for any experienced producer. As the small embryos form, the male chicks will obligatorily inherit the chromosome carrying the silver gene directly from their mother. Since we know very well that the silver color dominates over the reddish tones, these little males will hatch sporting a light down. They present themselves in uniform whitish or grayish tones that are incredibly easy to notice. On the contrary, the female chicks will exclusively inherit the gold gene coming from their brown father. Thanks to this precise transmission, they'll break the eggshell, showing a beautiful and characteristic dark striped plumage right from the very first moment. They look very much like a small wild chipmunk. It's an instant, biologically infallible sexing method with zero margin for error, allowing you to maximize operational efficiency immediately upon hatching, permanently saving you countless hours of difficult manual sorting. This immense capacity to accurately identify the future star layers with a simple glance triggers a positive domino effect over the entire cost structure of your farm. Traditionally, when raising the standard white variety that carries the deceptive dominant white gene, any farmer is forced to feed, house, and provide heating to a 50% share of unproductive males. This lasts for a minimum of 4 to 6 long weeks. This represents a devastating financial hole for your pocket, considering that commercial starter feed is the most expensive supply of your poultry production cycle. By bravely implementing this strategic cross between the brown rooster and the silver hen, the producer immediately gains the power to discard the males on the exact same day zero. Every single pound of ration you purchase and every square inch of the brooder is exclusively dedicated to nourishing the optimal development of the real females. They'll eventually fill your egg cartons with giant, premium-grade eggs for commercial sale. This efficiency definitively secures your farm's profit margin and radically transforms your entire agricultural business model, placing you far ahead of the traditional commercial competition almost instantly. Once we successfully move past the delicate incubator stage and focus our daily efforts on the crucial rearing phase, these hybrid pullets begin to demonstrate the undeniable advantages of maintaining breed integrity within this Mediterranean lineage. Because you strategically discarded all unproductive males on day one, every single ounce of premium starter feed you pour into the troughs transforms exclusively into the rapid development of high-performance future layers. Unlike common commercial sex-linked birds hastily created from crosses involving heavy breeds, which tend to accumulate harmful visceral fat if their diet is not managed strictly, our specific females effortlessly maintain an accelerated metabolic rate. They display the remarkably sleek physical structure characteristic of their genetic background. During these critical weeks of early juvenile development, you will noticeably observe a formidable feed conversion rate happening inside your growing barns. The young birds efficiently transform every ingested nutrient directly into lean muscle growth and the perfect maturation of their reproductive tract. They consistently ensure future laying success without wasting energy on useless bodily mass. This targeted physiological efficiency directly lowers your overhead operational costs and sets the stage for maximum agricultural profitability. This highly agile physiological profile translates into an exceptional bird that reaches sexual maturity fully ready to operate at maximum daily output. They achieve this critical milestone without suffering the dreaded prolapse issues that often plague heavier production lines when forced into early lay. By guaranteeing their bodies never support excessive internal weight, their daily maintenance feed requirements strictly remain phenomenally low. When reaching point of lay at just 18 to 20 weeks of age, these hybrid pullets initiate their expected laying cycle while simultaneously exhibiting an incredibly active natural foraging instinct. If you manage a rotational pasture system or utilize semi-confinement facilities, you will be amazed to see how these tireless workers intelligently supplement their formulated feed. They actively hunt for live insects, wild seeds, and tender grass shoots across the available terrain. This innate biological capacity to find valuable supplementary nutrition significantly reduces your monthly supply bills. It shields your farm's overall profitability against constant price hikes in commercial grains, forging a compact biological egg-laying machine. This agility ensures they remain highly productive in varied environments, giving you incredible operational flexibility and deep peace of mind. Right after crossing the barrier of their first few productive weeks, this strategically designed flock prominently reveals its greatest commercial triumph for the seasoned producer. We are talking about the immaculate preservation of the completely white eggshell. A frequent and costly technical mistake within the alternative poultry industry is quickly resorting to crosses with reddish heavy strains to achieve improvised visual sexing. That flawed approach inevitably contaminates the genetic shell color. It yields confusing cream or light brown tones that alienate the demanding traditional market customer who expects a pure product. By strictly maintaining our specific pairing entirely within the lightweight color varieties of this exact same breed, the genotype responsible for the shell pigment remains faithful to its pure heritage. You will continuously obtain highly coveted premium-grade eggs, featuring an excellent dense eggshell structure and that brilliant white color dominating professional markets. All this is powerfully backed by an overwhelming laying persistence. These crossbred females easily surpass the 300 annual egg mark under proper management, flawlessly replicating the pure white line's incredible efficiency. This guarantees unmatched quality and exceptional consistency for your demanding clients. Moving beyond the tremendous nutritional efficiency and structural perfection of the final product, this intentional clash of intra-breed genetics forcefully infuses the new generation with an exceptional degree of hybrid vigor. This natural immunological shield drastically elevates the overall survival rates of your entire productive flock. Although we thoroughly understand that both parental lines originally belong to the exact same foundation breed, the long decades of reproductive separation between the brown variant and the silver maternal base have created the necessary genetic distance. Their precise union produces noticeably stronger and deeply rustic offspring that fiercely resist environmental stress. These young females do not just reach their optimal laying weight much faster, they also exhibit a formidable resilience when facing constant daily environmental challenges. They withstand severe thermal fluctuations across the changing seasons and consistently show a significantly lower vulnerability to the contagious respiratory disorders that are common in densely populated commercial barns. This intrinsic vitality rapidly lowers your mortality rates during winter, effectively protecting all your valuable financial investments. You build a fundamentally healthy flock that thrives robustly under intense commercial pressure year-round. This robust general health inevitably leads us to another of the greatest financial victories achieved by utilizing this specific cross. It allows the logical extension of the productive cycle and the profound ease of managing a highly profitable flock replacement strategy. Because the mature body weight of our efficient layers stabilizes right around 4 to 5.5 pounds in their full adulthood, the physical wear accumulated month after month is substantially lower than what heavy-framed birds irreversibly suffer. This massive physiological advantage allows the experienced farmer to keep these dedicated workers performing brilliantly throughout an entire second year of continuous laying without seeing the financial numbers turn red. By effectively amortizing the initial rearing costs over a much longer and highly productive timeline, you uniquely maximize the total monetary yield of every individual hen. When the inevitable moment finally arrives to execute your strategic flock rotation, the seasoned producer will have extracted a spectacular profit margin from each animal, justifying the technical decision to implement this advanced genetic system. This long-term financial yield transforms your entire business model into a highly predictable enterprise. To definitively secure the long-term economic viability of this sophisticated reproductive system, the professional producer must deeply understand an unbreakable golden rule regarding these specific birds. These high-performance hybrid birds are strictly a terminal cross that must never be reproduced under any given circumstance on your farm. The beautifully sexed females represent the ultimate and absolute final destination of this careful genetic design. They are specialized biological workers created with the sole purpose of rapidly filling the daily collection cartons inside your egg room. If you ever make the terrible technical mistake of accidentally crossing these phenomenal laying hens with randomly selected roosters, the immensely valuable magic of the sex-linked inheritance will be instantly destroyed. When this highly undesirable Mendelian chromosomal segregation inevitably occurs, you will rapidly obtain unpredictable offspring with mixed colors. You will bring back the dreaded problem of not being able to visually sex the newly hatched chicks on day 0, wasting valuable resources constantly. Therefore, you must jealously guard your pure foundation flocks. Preventing this genetic collapse is your absolute top priority to keep your operations incredibly smooth and highly profitable. The truly astute breeder firmly focuses all their best selection efforts on deeply protecting their elite line of brown roosters on one side and their exceptional silver maternal base on the highly secure other side. You must manage them in completely independent breeding pens continuously to prevent any accidental mingling. These wonderful pure foundation lines will permanently act as the inexhaustible genetic engine of your entire farm. They are the true biological source from which, season after season, a totally new generation of exact, highly predictable and guaranteed performance crossbred layers will beautifully emerge. By firmly mastering this clever technique of intelligent crossing within your own private facilities, you definitively free yourself from the constant, expensive dependence on massive industrial hatcheries. You proudly take absolute control over the entire genetic destiny of your poultry business. You convert a deeply frustrating technical problem that generated heavy losses into a spectacular strategic advantage. You are optimizing your rearing spaces, maximizing your efficiency and definitively securing your farm's future without a shadow of a doubt. This elite applied knowledge fundamentally separates the struggling hobbyist from the truly prosperous, independent poultry professional who commands the market effortlessly. Mastering sex-linked genetics and light lines is not just a technical advantage, it is the definitive path towards the true independence of your farm. By successfully implementing this precise cross between brown roosters and silver hens, you proudly become the absolute architect of your own profitability. This profound knowledge grants you total control over the destiny of your flocks. You eliminate financial waste and ensure every ounce of formulated feed becomes real productive life. You are optimizing operations and definitively securing your agricultural future. Are you ready to take this leap and transform your nesting boxes, or will you continue betting blindly on the traditional white line? Share your plans below, because your experience helps this elite community of breeders grow. If this video has opened your eyes towards a completely new level of high agricultural mastery, please leave a like and subscribe now so together we can continuously rescue the profitable art of applied poultry genetics. Implement these techniques today and watch your own farm thrive beyond your wildest expectations. To your success, fellow breeder. Until next time.